All right, welcome to another episode of the High Performance Podcast. Once again, I am overstimulated by my life and the amount of caffeine I ingested. I can't really put it under the category of pre-workout because I'm not training at the moment because I spent the last 2 days getting tattooed. Shout out to my mate Cal Sinodinovic. Check out Cal Sino Tattoos, Cal_Sino. Maybe there's another underscore tattoos. Type in Cal Sino. He's got a decent following. It'll probably come up. But I told him I wanted a panther because Harvey, have you heard the tale of the blue-eyed panther? But so I was like, just give me a cool panther, and he really did a fucking number on me. Same as when I was like, hey, can you just give me a cool sword? And he whipped up that fucking masterpiece full of skulls and things like that. Also, an interesting talking point yesterday. I vlogged the whole thing as well. So I did my 3K subscriber YouTube Q&A. I vlogged that while Cal was doing the tattoo. But in between getting back to all the questions that people submitted, thank you to everyone who submitted a question for that. He was saying that he looked up the Guinness World Record for the most skull tattoos. It's like low 300s or something like that. And it's like fucking, I don't know. We're not going to deliberately go after it, but every tattoo I get off that bloke, there's at least like fucking 50 or 60 skulls in it. So yeah, it could be getting myself in the Guinness World Record books. Pretty
that is the most
over the next
niche
12 months or so.
Guinness World Record I've ever heard in my life. Like the most specific one I've ever heard. That's crazy.
I mean, he's doing a full back piece on someone at the moment, and I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't manage to slam at least 500 skulls into that. He loves a skull tattoo.
Yeah, wait, who gets the record? Is it you or him?
Oh, I guess it would be me. I didn't actually ask.
Most tattoos on one body or most tattoos drawn by an artist?
It's probably both of us. Just the two of us.
Also, while we are here, Cal's Instagram handle is Cal_Sino_tattoo.
Brilliant. And the whole crew at Spice Inc., that's the studio that he works at, is mad. He's coming up to his first year anniversary of his tattoo apprenticeship. So I think that's coming up in November. So he hasn't been doing it that long, but he is an absolute machine. I always enjoy signing myself up to sort of push his limits and go into new territory. But let's just get straight into our songs of the week.
I'm gonna drop his. I will drop his IG handle in the show notes as well.
Okay, sweet. I just want to change the tone because I feel like I went a little bit soft on you guys last week. Don't get me wrong, still madly in love, but we sort of fucking had a bit of a moment last week. I mean, I'm still absolutely thrashing. What is it? Eat, sleep, wake. Nothing but you. Very horny. But I just want a vibe change. Puya has announced that he is coming back to Australia. Sorry, not coming back to Australia. I had tickets to his last show and he cancelled it like fucking 24 hours out. So I was a little bit heartbroken there. Didn't listen to Puya, but I thought it would just be a nice sort of pivot to show people that my testosterone levels haven't dropped through the floor. So if you like sort of, it's that like Southeast Coast rap. It's sort of from Florida, has a distinctive sound. 41 by Puya is like, it sort of reminds me of early Eminem where you're like, I hope this isn't you rapping about what you actually did. It's like you're playing a character, but I'm not going to lie. When it comes to lifting weights, it gets me fired up. 41 was the first track Puya that I really got into. But then there's other shit. Like he's actually quite diverse. You've got like, he's done some collabs with Ghostman and like the Suicide Boys and stuff. 1,000 Rounds is mad. Void, Out the Mud, Forever Waiting at My Window. Like I said, I like a lot of his music. He really doesn't miss. So definitely check out Puya. And another one, a little bit of a rap hip hop theme. It's I Got 5 on It, which is just a track I saw on a surfing clip this morning.
What a fucking song.
Do you know that one?
Holy shit, yeah.
What is it? I Got 5 on It by Luniz and Michael Marshall. Oh, I'll give you one more as well because, that's it.
Crazy
Burns
track.
is fucking loving it in the gym today because I sent the surf clip to him and then he was the one that told me the name of it. We've also got Rearranged by Limp Bizkit. Been on a huge Limp Bizkit kick for probably the last 6 months, if I'm honest. Shout out to Jack Chris, the original drummer of the Nades, because he was always a Limp Bizkit ride or die, but I was just like, I thought I was a bit too cool for it. I'm not too cool for it anymore. It's sick stuff.
Man, Limp Bizkit, they're back. They're fucking back. And like, you can say what you want about them, but like, they know how to write a filthy riff.
Yeah. Just gets me fired up to lift hard, train hard. Yeah, really, really enjoying that. Before I get into sporting performance of the week that got me fired up, what have you boys been listening to?
I've just been down a huge Michael Jackson rabbit hole. Just going through everything from the earlier
Hell fucking yeah.
Off the Wall.
Respectable.
Hell fucking yeah.
Off the Wall, great album. My mother loves Off the Wall. Shout out, mum. So been going through that. And like I was looking at
so we're talking about MJ before he got too much plastic surgery, before the unfortunate Pepsi ad incident.
Yeah, that one. And then
I think so. Yeah, Off the Wall super early. Yeah.
Yeah. I've also was like realizing that Bad album has so many fucking hits in one album. Every single song in that album has done surely like billions and billions of streams. But yeah.
It's not just that. It's not just him. It was Quincy Jones writing a lot of that stuff for him, but the rhythm section is insane.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's just killers all over it. All over it. Like Thriller is my favorite. Like, sorry to be the guy that takes the most predictable one, but like, man, there's just actually he doesn't not write a hit on Thriller. You know, like the whole thing. It's just back to back, fucking.
Yeah.
And also the other thing about that stuff is that like somehow, I think, especially with music like that and in that kind of time period, because Thriller came out in 1982, right? I feel like it's so easy for that music from that era and that kind of style to sound super dated. Like, whether it's the sounds they're using that just get fucking rinsed through the decade or whatever it is, it's so easy to come out sounding real cheesy, but I don't think it ever does. Like, I put PYT on like quite frequently and I'm just like, man, this Thriller still fucking goes so hard. You know,
PYT. The 80s was a hell of a time. The cocaine was pure and the chords were interesting. I wasn't there, but so I heard.
Yeah. Actually, on a similar just fun fact, like on Beat It, like there's like 3 or 4 different dudes that play guitar on it.
Wow.
And old mate, Steve Lukather is one of them. Old mate from Toto. He's one of the guitars on it. And the solo is Eddie Van Halen.
That's a disgusting.
What a lineup
combo.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's either 1 or 2 others, and one of them is a guy whose name I can't remember, but he's like just he's a session guy who's on everything.
Dude, when Lukather gets demoted to rhythm guitar, that's like, it's serious. Things are getting very serious.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's rhythm as such, because if you think about Thriller, there's so many guitars in the verses. There's the ding 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 ding, and then there's the riff, and then there's probably someone just like hitting the chords like the ding 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 ding. I think I've not like sat there.
So who does that?
That's Van Halen.
That's got Eddie all
that
over
is
it.
so crazy. You know why?
I'm pretty sure is like. I'm pretty sure it's plugged straight into the desk as well, just for any of you guitar tone nerds.
Whoa, that's pretty based. Pretty based.
If it's not straight into the desk, I think it's digital. It's like through something pretending to be an amp and then into the desk. I think, which is like back then unheard of.
Very progressive. Very progressive. Yeah,
but yeah, Big Ed on the solo.
Fuck me dead. Harvey, talk to me.
Okay, on a slightly different theme, Lucy Dacus put a single out very recently, and I put that on and was just like, God, every time you put a song out, I weep. And then, do you know what? I've actually been on a bit of a kick of trying to do albums that I just like haven't done, and I've no idea why I haven't done them. So I put on Tyler's new album after Jacob recommended it last week. Not gonna lie, I actually don't really get it. So I'll give it a
Sorry, I just need to make an emergency pause in the podcast. I'm crashing out a bit. I trained a pretty good weightlifter about 2 years ago, and I put a lot of weight on his total. And then he went to a coach who was supposedly a bit more advanced, and barely made any progress in the last like fucking 15 months, which sort of tears me up because this guy was like, I want to make the Olympics. Well, that's what he said in his consult call. And I was like, this will be a stretch, but at the rate he's progressing, if he keeps this up, he will make the Olympics. I can't believe how well the training went. Like, I know I'm a good coach and I get fucking results, but like, yeah, we put like 27 kilos on his total in 9 months, which is phenomenal progress for someone who is as strong as he is. But he just like the last few weeks, he keeps uploading like about the progress that he's made in the last like year or so. And I'm like, no, you hit all those PBs with me. God,
it's a bit unfair. It's a bit unfair.
Fucking,
it's a bit
I'm just
unfair.
going to fuck myself.
So no credit.
Fuck me dead. But it's all right. That's why. Fuck me for not training more weightlifters. It's probably just a jealousy thing. Anyway, back to you, Harvey.
Yeah, anyway, all I was going to say was that I did that Tyler album and...
I'm sorry, I don't even want credit. I don't even want public credit, but just don't attribute fucking 35 kilos worth of PBs to your new coach who you've essentially completely stalled out under. I don't need the credit, but just don't give it to the new coach who has basically fucked your Olympic dreams. Back to you, Harvey. Fuck me,
okay.
Dad. Fuck me. Like I said, it's always a personal issue. I'm going to go home, look in the mirror and be like, why do I feel this way? And you work harder.
Hell yeah, we do. Hell fucking yeah, we do. Do you know who needs to work harder is Tyler, the creator? No, sorry, that's not fair. But yeah, I didn't really get his most recent album, but if I'm being honest, I actually haven't done a Tyler album properly in like maybe ever. So I spoke to my brother who's a huge Tyler fan. He actually has like, is it just one? He's got a Tyler kind of themed tattoo. And I was like, Adam, where am I going? So I've got some recommendations of him. So I'm going to go back and kind of deep dive a bit. But I get it because I feel like Tyler's one of these dudes
I
who
acknowledge his creativity. Listening to him doesn't really get me fired up.
Yeah, I think if you're not, he's one of these guys who I think is like so on the front foot of things that if you're not crazy invested in a scene and you don't know what's kind of getting a bit dull or what's happening, I think it is possible to kind of like hear his music and be a bit like, I don't really get it. When
it reminds me a lot of previous like different albums. You know? Yeah. So you're right.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go back and I think do Flower Boy.
Great album.
But do you have a favorite Tyler album, Jacob?
Igor,
like where would I jump in if you were going to tell me to? Igor. Okay. Interesting.
You haven't heard Igor?
I'll smash both of them. Nah, that's what I mean. I've just kind of tuned out of the whole Tyler thing a while ago and haven't, you know what I mean? Like he's one of those dudes who's kind of doing so many big things that I feel like I need to give it the proper time and then I just never do. So yeah, I'm going to go back and do those and then see how I feel
From
about
memory,
it.
Flower Boy has Thundercat on bass. I could be completely tripping.
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay, we could do it for a good time.
Yeah, it's always a good time with Thundercat. He's like he's so cool and he shreds so hard, but he genuinely seems like a nice bloke. Like he just gives off that energy, which is not something I get out of a lot of rapper musicians. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the same thing that happens to personal trainers. Like there's this rule in commercial gyms where the more jacked you are as a personal trainer, the more you have to walk around smiling and waving. Otherwise, people who aren't more beginners will assume you're a fuckwit and that you're judging them. And I think I do a similar thing. I'm a shit musician. Whenever I see people absolutely shred and I'm like, oh, they're probably like a really judgmental asshole. Again, it'd just probably be projection from me. But no, Thundercat, I look at him as like absolute tip of the spear shredder. But I just get the vibe that he'd be an amazing guy to hang out with. Actually, I think I've listened to a few of his interviews. Fuck, I can't remember who we sat down and got interviewed by, but legend of the game.
He does seem like a guy who does it because he loves it. You know what I mean? And that's it. It doesn't seem like there's much ego. And I think even given like the way he dresses and like the guitar he plays and everything, I'm like, I kind of think that he is just one of these like, I know like heaps of his songs are about like just playing fucking Diablo or whatever. Like, sure, like
but just
I think
this
he's
juxtaposition between childlike energy, but then incredibly sophisticated music.
100%. And he's been in like kids' TV shows and shit as well. Like I think he strikes me as one of those guys who's just like a big kind of nerdy.
We have to
dude
save the children
music.
from basic and boring music. They need to be hearing sick bass lines their entire childhood. And he's going to deliver them personally.
Yeah. I think he's just really creative and loves making music and is like, well, this is what I do with my life. I'm fucking happy. And there's no like real ego. Not that I know him, but that's the impression I get anyway.
Is it time to get into sporting performances that got us fired up this week?
Sure thing.
Fucking Jack Robertson at Chopu. He fucking did the thing. I've written Jack Robertson off at least 6 times this year, mentally, never publicly. Or maybe I lashed out on the podcast one time because he's got an absolutely rubbish S&C coach and he's been doing too much meditation. I think he sort of got inside his own head. But fucking, so it's the last event of the year. It was mathematically possible for Jack Robinson to make the final 5. So that's the current structure of the World Tour, which is changing to a better format next year. But the last couple of years, they've been doing this final 5 thing, whereas historically it's just been whoever racks up the most points throughout the championship tour. But now it's like about trying to be in the top 5. And then there's one final event for the top 5 and they all duke it out to see who's the world champion. So Jack Robinson had to win at Chopu to qualify for the final 5, and it even required a few people losing. And Jack Robinson is just an absolute barrel pig. Like he was so deep, and so many of the barrels were shutting down on him, but he just got his spade out, and he was just like, no, I decide whether I come out or not. He's like, yeah, fucking insane. Go watch the highlight replays, like if you want the short form of it. But it was just absolutely disgusting work. He dusted the Colapinto brothers back to back, which I just don't like them for whatever reason. So, like, you couldn't have scripted this. It's not just Jack winning the whole event and qualifying for the final 5. It was like him even beating the surfers I dislike the most, and also knocking out fellow Australian Ethan Ewing out of the top 5, which I just don't really like Ethan Ewing. I think he seems like a bit of a wanker, absolutely great surfer. It's heaps funny. I feel like a lot of people aren't really that into Ethan Ewing. I actually bought Ethan Ewing's signature tail pad for my new board. It was just really funny. It's just a completely grey, really light grey tail pad. And it was like the Ethan Ewing signature model. And it was like signature grip, signature personality. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, was that some like inside joke at Creatures of Leisure? Be like, this guy has a shit personality. Anyway, I'm probably being unnecessarily harsh on the bloke. He's got he has a really good rail game, Ethan Ewing, but people just, the glaze for it is just way too much. Anyway, Jack Robinson's my guy. He's made the final 5 at the expense of Ethan Ewing. And he was just on a warpath for the entire event. So we are praying for massive swells. The final event for the last 5 and to decide the world champion is Cloudbreak Fiji. The bigger it is, the better Jack's chances are. He just absolutely thrives in big waves. It's definitely going to be barreling. But yeah, he's just the man out there whenever it gets like above 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot. We're honestly praying for it to be so big that they're considering calling the event off, and that's where he's going to thrive the most. So I'm really fired up about that. It's a shame I can't surf for the next 2 weeks because obviously I've got to heal up this tat. I can't remember. Did I talk about my tattoo? I know I talked about it off air at the start when we hit record.
No, I don't think you. No, you talked about the skulls. Was that did we talk about that? Guinness?
Oh, yeah, I did talk about that. Yeah. So that was also hectic, getting tattooed for the first time 2 days in a row. I've never had like line work done on one day and then just gone straight back in the other day to get it shaded. And that was pure torture, but you get to see a little bit of that when I upload the 3K Q&A video, which is, by the time this podcast drops, it's probably coming out in a couple of days. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Got to sit down and edit the thing and piece it all together. But yeah, that was my sporting highlight for the week. Was there anything that took your fancy, Jacob?
Not really sport, but I saw this guy named George King, I believe. And he just climbs buildings with no harnesses, which is like,
is he wear the Spider-Man suit? Or that's a French bloke, isn't it?
No, he's like got this pink, I think it's like a pink suit thing. He's like an older guy. It's a group of these guys and they just have like millimeters of like things to grip on. Just think about the amount of strength and the amount of willpower you have to have by climbing, because like you're just forced into like no other option, because like what you're going to do, climb down? It's like, no, it's like you climb this or you're dead. And yeah, like he's climbing.
Yeah, the level of commitment is just crazy. Hey,
yeah. He climbs like fucking tall ass buildings. I think the last one was like the some world tower in South Korea or some shit. And yeah, he just scales the whole thing on his own. And I just, it doesn't register in my head, people that just do that. It's like, it's like a do or die. Like, it's literally 50-50
it's
out
just
there.
By seeing people back himself that hard. I think that's what's so inspiring about it, because just deep down, you know, you're not that guy. Like, I consider myself a reasonably confident person, but there's levels to everything, right? And just like backing yourself to that extent, like no one's sitting there watching you. It's just like, no, you show up and you just start fucking climbing. So yeah, it's crazy fucking work.
Yeah. I think like it's the thing in the brain. It's like, well, what other choice do you have but not to climb? Like when you're up,
go home and
back,
fucking get into the safety of your bed, or just go to the local commercial gym and crush some weights, or there's so many other options.
Running, or like you're backed into a corner sort of thing. So it's amazing what humans can do when they're backed into a corner. But yeah, it's fucking crazy.
No, it's insane shit. I've acquired another 70-year-old surfing client. So Cal Sino, who did my tattoo yesterday, and obviously one of my best mates, Sam, training their old man because he's been having some trouble with his pop-up. So, I mean, surfing's just a bloody hard sport. So any 7-year-old that's still having a red hot go, I just find that super inspiring and I want to help him out. So had him in today doing some exercises to work on his pop-up. As usual, it was our very on-brand, highly specific surfing physical preparation. So had him doing some push-ups in full protraction, exaggerating the flexion a little bit, and like being able to flex your thoracic spine and reach just does so much to create space to bring your legs through on the pop-up. Because that's it. Like when I just had a look at the way he was moving, just with some of the exercises that some other cunt had given him, I was just like, he's really not. A little bit too much retraction going on in a lot of these movements, a little bit too much like spinal extension. And I just felt like there was a little bit of a combination of a mobility and strength deficit that was affecting his pop-up. So
yeah, I can imagine if you tent your spine, you can bring through those legs a bit easier.
Well, yeah, anyone who wants to try this, it's like get to the top of a push-up position, but don't protract your shoulder blades. Stay retracted and keep your spine extended, and then try to lift your knee up to your chest.
Just knee your stomach.
See how hard that is. But then flex your thoracic spine, protract your shoulder blades at the top of a push-up, and then try to bring your knee through. And you're just creating so much space there. Like so much of the one, getting to your feet, and then also when you're riding a surfboard or even just tucking into a good position for the barrel is flexion of the spine, protraction of the shoulder blades, and knees in for the win. Really is an amazing thing. So rip some hinges with him, actually we started out with a lot of just like rib cage breathing, just to sort of try to get his rib cage pumping, open up those back ribs. Obviously that's going to be a nice sort of progression into a lot of that protraction, and then just strengthening it up as well. So light mobility through breathing to start, then just a little bit of general strength training for the full body. Got him on the seated hamstring curl, got him on the leg extension, lat pull downs for the paddle power. But like I said, it is just as much as there's like specific things that we're looking to get out of it. Like obviously the SPP thing was a complete joke. It is general physical preparation. And yeah, I'm keen to just, have him in for a couple of weeks and see what the feedback's like. And then he was like, mate, I've got a bunch of mates who are just as cooked as me. Like when I say that, Davor is in phenomenal shape for a 70-year-old man, or he's probably a little bit older than 70. So
the fact that he's exercising is just huge.
Staying in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, man. Like he moved pretty well and he is pretty strong, but it just goes to show you how much physical qualities you need for the surf. I mean, Jacob, you felt how the ocean made an absolute bitch out of you, and you're young, fit, strong, pretty athletic guy. Like imagine being 70 years old and like Davor's going out in like solid fucking waves, and yeah, we're going to try to keep it going for as long as possible. But yeah, I'm keen to get a few more fucking geriatric surfers in here. And like I said, like that is really meaningful work to me. Like if I can keep someone surfing, if my physical preparation can allow someone one more fucking surf, if I can extend their surfing life for one more fucking surf, that's worth it for me. And we're going to get so much more than that. But that's just like, I just think about if I was older and retired and still passionate about surfing, like just how much that would enhance my quality of life, being able to continue with surfing. It's I don't want to live without surfing, and I don't want any of these guys to live without surfing either. It's also because one of my dad's mates as well, like, has stopped surfing recently because he's like, it's fucking just hard, man. Like, like he would go out on certain days, but it really has got to be perfect for him. And now I was like, mate, come into the fucking gym. And he was like, I don't want to bother you. I was like, no, it's not a fucking bother. Come into the gym. We're going to get you stronger. We're going to get you more mobile, and we're going to increase your confidence, and we're going to get you back in the ocean because, it's just fucking, all these people being such a big part of my life and whatever, even these people that I haven't met yet, fucking Darvor's mates, like that'd mean a lot for me to be able to extend their surfing careers. And like I said, a little bit more social proof for me. It's good content. Like I filmed the whole workout with Darvor. There'll be a carousel going up tonight, so everyone will probably enjoy that. It'll do well in the algorithm, but slowly working my way to training some elite surfers eventually.
What's the process of going through some mobility with a surfer?
It's just full ROM strength training, basically working on a bit of spinal flexion. I didn't want to do Jefferson curls and stuff like that with him on day one. So like I said, it was more just about like just breathing into the back ribs a little bit, getting him into some protraction, and even just that improved his ability to, we didn't train everything in spinal flexion. Like we were doing all our hinges, we were doing with a not very extended spine, but quite a long spine. But that's the thing, Darvor is not lacking spinal extension. It's like definitely flexion where he lacks, and got him a huge fucking glute pump, quad pump, hamstring pump. Fucking pumped his arms up at the end of the session. He actually has a torn bicep tendon, so he's got a filthy bicep peak on one arm. So yeah, it was fucking mad.
Does anyone know why like the whole flexion thing was drowned out? Like I think it was the rounded posture thing, but I feel like a lot of the people that I work with is like need a bit more protraction. Like why was everything shoulders back and down? You're droopy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, where did it start, like, in the world? I have some theories. I haven't probably sat down and thought about it for long enough, but I can tell you when it started in my life and where it gets drilled into a lot of people. I remember being in school, like, I had just like I was just really posteriorly compressed for like whatever fucking reason. I had a heaps extended spine, and I remember my teachers always complimenting on my posture. I'm like, what fucking... What do you know about fucking... I mean, sorry, they were just trying to do that sort of thing. But like, again, like they would hassle kids for slouching. It's like, heaven forbid a kid relaxes while they're trying to learn. It's like sitting up straight with a rod up your ass is not relaxation. It's a fucking threat response.
Sympathetic nervous system.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid how much slouching gets drilled out of like kids from such a young age. You're taught that it's this bad thing. It is emphasized in workplace health and safety. Like you still have people to this day going around to workplaces telling people that it is wrong and extremely unsafe to lift with a rounded back, which there is just like not any good evidence to support that. A lot of the best evidence sort of says that you should just lift in whatever posture is most comfortable and just expose yourself to it gradually over time. I mean, like a lot of, again, McGill is the most published spinal biomechanist researcher in the world. And again, his whole thing is about making people scared as fuck out of spinal flexion, whether you're lifting up a heavy box in the workplace or even if you're trying to put your full schlong into your miso. Sorry, that was a bit vulgar, but so no, I don't edit this out, Harvey. We need, like, this is how fucking problematic that guy is. He was like, yeah, don't flex your spine when you're having sex with your partner.
Really?
Here's a bunch of things where you can pleasure each other have intercourse.
No, he didn't.
Not go into spinal flexion. He did.
Did he lean into some Kama Sutra stuff?
I mean, Kama Sutra involves a lot of spinal flexion, to my understanding.
So he
had the whole pure spinal extension Kama Sutra, I guess. Yeah, where I guess like maybe McGill has like more inches than me to work with. So like, you know,
that would add a bit more.
Maybe he doesn't need a posterior tilt, but your boy does.
If you extend it, you would add an inch or two.
No, you would. That's a posterior tilt if you want. My mum listens to this podcast. Let's move on, guys. That was enough information. Sorry, no, but circling back to there's so many ways it's been ingrained in society. Like, because I'm even thinking, like, if you sort of go, it's seen as virtuous spinal extension, right? Like you hear Jordan Peterson talking about, it's like sit up straight, pull your shoulders back, and you know what I mean. Like,
and then you'll start crying.
It's so ingrained in society to the point where people are like, no, you're actually a better, kinder, more virtuous person if you don't slouch. So it starts from so many different places in life. Harvey, I'm curious to get your perspective on this. Yeah.
Well, see, I was going to ask if it's one of those things, because what you said about them drilling it into you so much at school, I wonder if it's one of those things that like kind of is or was like a sign of respect or had like another purpose or something, and is kind
sit
of
up
just
straight, pay attention. Yeah,
like that kind of thing. Because in the same vein, it's like there's this thing where I quite like, and I might be a fucking weirdo for this, right? I quite like wearing a hood like indoors. Like if I've got a hoodie on, I quite like having a hood up. Don't know why, I just do, right?
The disrespect.
And like, and my parents were always a bit like, why do you do that? And like, that's kind of weird. And we're always a bit like, you know, don't kind of do it. Like if we were having dinner or whatever, they'd be like, you know, don't do it at the table type thing. Which again is one of those things that I was always like, that just seems like a fucking ancient, like, I don't know, like one of those things that's kind of like, you know, a sign of respect and no one really knows why. And
it's
then
like no hats inside. It's like,
it's exactly the same thing. But my mum one day was kind of saying that like when they were at school, or at least this is what kind of like, I think what her mum said, but like when she was at school, if you had a hat or a hood on when you were at the table or inside, it was a sign that your hair was dirty, or that you like had some, or like that, you know, you couldn't afford, you know, that you were like unclean. It was like kind of one of those ones. And like, I think it's one of those things that has just kind of like bled down. But so my mum's response is like, take your hood off, people think you're not clean type thing. And like, that's just because it's been fucking drilled in. And I wonder if it's one of those things that like posture is a similar thing. Like it's a sign of respect, and I don't know, it harks back to ancient times or something. And the more it goes on, people will be
I would
like,
say that there's a lot of ties to like military as well.
Yeah.
Like, which is definitely very quite an old sort of system or institution, and obviously involves a lot of just dogma. And so like, I hope they're allowed to slouch in the military these days. Maybe not in the parades, but at least in the office.
And I don't know, but maybe it is a sign of like maybe there's like some kind of like medical back.
And
like
when your boy goes down in the field of duty, when he's taking a shot, and you've got to fucking pick him up and throw him over your shoulder, you need to do it with the flex spine. So you got to prepare for that.
Absolutely. But like, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if, say, it was almost like a sign of like affluence or wealth, that like, I don't know, there were certain medical things that you didn't have historically that meant.
I mean, homeless people do love slouching, so yeah, I guess it is sort of like separating yourself from that.
You get some crazy spinal flexion going.
There we go. Did we get to the bottom of it? It's just a military thing / a proving you're not homeless thing.
But I think the school thing is huge, because like when we were back in school, anyone that wanted like extra time or like a treat or something, because you'd all sit down cross-legged, we'd all go like that, like just full extend the spine. I remember that. I don't know if anyone
fucking lotus on the school floor. Dude, you know what I remember? Like, okay. One of my earliest experience of being noceboed was not from a PE teacher, because in primary school, your teacher is just your teacher for everything. So school teacher puts a PE cap on, and so some of the dogma I remember being established early on in primary school physical education was like, well, you better do some static stretching before you exercise, otherwise you're increasing injury rate. Also, you need to do static stretching or some sort of cool down after exercise, otherwise you're increasing your risk of injury. But I remember one of my primary school teachers being like, because a classic one, obviously you do the arm across stretch, maybe a little bit of a toe touch, don't fucking flex your spine. But then the other classic one is doing some ankle circles. And then I remember one of my primary school teachers being like, oh, you shouldn't do ankle circles because that'll destroy your ankle. You go down and up, and then side to side, side to side. Ankle circles will just like destroy your ligaments, destroy the joint. I'm like, what the fuck is like, that's so, where did you, I'm like, obviously the teachers are just doing their best. This lady was trying to do her best. I'll shit on her a little bit, but yeah,
she meant well.
Speaking, like, you know, not a horrible person, meant well, but like that stayed with me for like quite some time because even as a young kid, I was like, but wait, I was like, my ankle is doing those motions in life. Like, oh, my body is like wearing away and deteriorating. I mean, that's a whole nother concept that society needs to let go of. The concept of wear and tear. It's fucking wear and repair. Like you have to use it to make it fucking stronger. Anyway, that's why concepts like, I mean, not just like fucking embracing complexity, but ideas like anti-fragile philosophy and things like that are really important ideas that we need to like trickle down and like influence society at a greater level. And it is happening. Like when you look at like Peter O'Sullivan, who has been one of the key influencers, doesn't do him justice because he's a genuine academic. But when I say influencer, I mean he has been one of the most influential people when it comes to a more biopsychosocial approach to physiotherapy, rehab as a whole, but especially the management of lower back pain, which is like one of the biggest, how do I phrase this, like societal issues when it comes to how much lower back pain is an impact on society, both in terms of like people taking time off work, pain medication, and so on and so forth. So I was really stoked to see, not my local news, but it's like 9 News was sort of talking about Peter O'Sullivan being part of this new initiative where they're really focusing on like, hey, like just fucking move. However, like a big part of it is just like, hey, let's meet you where you're at. Doesn't matter what the movements are. We're just going to sort of try to keep you moving, get you engaged with exercise. We're not going to be neurotic about it with these like chronic long-term low back pain sort of rehab cases. And they're getting really, really amazing results with it's a much more, like it's not just biopsychosocial, but in particular, it's basically CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, layered in with moderate intensity exercise sessions, typically some form of resistance training. And it just seems to be game changing for a lot of these subjects. So Peter O'Sullivan was getting interviewed on the news as a part of this. And obviously there's going to be papers coming out about it. But even just they were interviewing some of the patients on the news and they're like, yeah, like this is so much better than popping pills. And yeah, I still feel pain on some days, but knowing that pain doesn't equal damage completely changed my attitude to pain, because a lot of these people are so fed up with like not just the pain, but how this pain and the information they've been given based on that has just stopped them living their life. And like a lot of people get to the point where they're just like, man, like I don't care if I'm in pain if I can just get back to activities that are meaningful to me. And even just that as a whole can just have this like snowball effect, you know, that can just have such a positive impact on some people's lives. Me and Harvey have been talking about the impacts of chronic pain on people, and chronic pain will fucking change you. Like I haven't had to deal with it, touch wood, and I hope I'm blessed and lucky. But regardless, if I ever do become someone who suffers from chronic pain, because it is one of those unfortunate things that can happen to a lot of people, I will be dealing with it in a society that is much more progressive and has moved forward a lot since the classic, like, well, stop moving your back and take these pills. Sorry, I don't know why I did the accent, but yeah, that's basically the advice that historically people
any health professional that uses the word never, like you will never be able to do this again.
Oh,
like
man.
that is such
the
a
classic
killer.
is like the kid will like break their arm or something like that. They're looking at the fucking physio report and they're like, oh yeah, you'll have arthritis in a couple of years. It's like, where the fuck did you get that level of certainty from, you prick? Like just scaring the shit out of fucking kids.
Yeah, I just don't understand like the limiting belief that doctors said, like the amount of people that said, yeah, I'm not allowed to run, like allowed.
I mean, humans fundamentally have a negativity bias, which has been wired into us as like part of survival. It is, you will survive better.
If you expect the worst.
How do I phrase this? Yes, it's somewhat protective and leads to survival. Okay, so this is...
You get less disappointed.
Negativity bias will help you survive, but it won't necessarily do much for your quality of life. Like, I think there's a lot of truth in that, because like negativity bias and just being more drawn to warnings about things rather than the good things that people are saying, or the optimism in certain situations. If you're a bit more pessimistic, you'll probably be safer. Like I said, it's not going to enhance your quality of life because it's just going to stop you doing things. But yeah, like we're kind of hardwired to pay more attention to negative things, such as warnings. And like I said, that is all a part of our survival. The same way that, like, you know, we're really good at storing fat, because back in the day, storing fat was a big part of our survival, right? Like, food was more scarce, so you needed to be better at storing energy. Fucking spam calls. Jesus fucking Christ. Ever since COVID, where we had to do those fucking check-ins at every venue, I swear to God, the amount of spam calls. Sorry, it's just because it's connected to my laptop. Sorry. Calm back down. What were we talking about? Negativity bias. So yeah, it's sort of a similar thing to where, like, I think it's time for humans it'd be nice if we could sort of evolve out of the negativity bias, but I understand how it's been protective over time. The same way that it'd be good if humans had like faster metabolisms, because we're in such a hyper-caloric environment these days, at least most of us, especially in the Western world, with so much access to tasty snacks. Yeah, we haven't really adapted. We're still storing all that fat.
We absolutely love doing this show, and one of the most exciting things for us is watching it grow, because it means we can commit more time to it, as well as have access to better guests to bring you even more quality content. One of the most impactful ways you can help us grow the show is by shouting it out, screenshotting this episode, and sharing it on your stories to let people know that you're listening. Don't underestimate how influential you can be on helping us grow this show, and we appreciate it so much.
Is that the theory that we're going to eventually all have like a higher basal metabolic rate? Like, because
I mean, humans are evolving in a lot of ways. I'm not sure where we're at with basal metabolic rate elevating on average, but obviously humans have evolved culturally to exercise. Like, exercise wasn't a thing if you go back far enough. It was called surviving. It was called hunting and foraging for food. And like I said, just surviving your day to day was enough caloric expenditure to sort of keep people in shape. Whereas culturally now we have evolved to exercise in our leisure time and to promote that to sort of as a way to manage body composition. But since industrialization, women are hitting menopause later, I believe. There's been a measurable change in that. Yeah, humans are quite adaptable and constantly evolving if you zoom out enough. And you don't have to zoom out that much to see some evolution.
Yeah. Have you heard the whole testosterone thing? How the average 20-year-old has the testosterone of a 70-year-old in the 50s or something, or the 40s or something?
Yeah, I think people are a bit too hyper fixated on it. Like, I think there's a little bit, but yeah, like, sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're all just a bunch of cucks, are we?
Like, what is that attributed to? Like, just
microplastics.
Microplastics.
No, I think that is a
BPA.
bit of a thing. Like, I think initially, like, microplastics, I was like, nah, this is like fucking
too many tugs. Who knows?
Plastic.
Sorry.
I'd say not tugging enough.
Oh, really?
If I'm honest, there's too many fucking men on the semen retention protocols, which is horrible for your decision making.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I say that. No, okay. I don't know. Like, I reference my no-fap journey quite a bit on this podcast. If you're not fortunate to enough to have heard that, I did start HDing uni and I quit wanking for 6 months. But I don't attribute it to the semen retention. I attribute it to the act of discipline. I think being more disciplined in any one area of your life will have a domino effect of sorts. But
that's actually a good take.
You can be disciplined in ways that don't involve seed retention, and I encourage you to do so because, yeah, I probably did make some bad decisions in that period.
Okay.
And sorry, I just want to speak to this more because I do believe this. I think the sweet spot is don't retain any seed, but stop watching porn. Like, I don't know. I'm not against it. I try to be pretty sex positive. I don't know if sex positive means that you have to be pro porn, but I try not to fucking judge because I've been enjoying pornography for I dare say most of my life. But I don't anymore. And I feel like my life's a lot better. So you should be jerking it frequently. But I don't know if porn is making anyone's quality of life better.
Probably not.
What do you guys think? Like, can any of you
I think that's correct.
Can any of you look me in the fucking eyes and be like, no, my life is better from watching porn on the internet?
I think it's just like I think regardless of, you know, if you think it does a lot for your productivity or your whatever you want to call it, I think and I haven't really thought this through before I said it, but I think if watching
internet porn was our Gallipoli, Harvey.
I was just gonna say if
we didn't go to war, we had internet porn.
If it doesn't fill you with an insane amount of double standards, then I think your standards are probably a bit cooked. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I felt like growing up, it was like mostly boys because, like, as a boy, I feel like society was more encouraging or at least accepting of you just tugging it and also watching porn. And then as society got more woke, for lack of a better word, I noticed more women being like, hell yeah, I love watching porn. And I don't know, like it's always been like something that I felt conflicted about in relationships. I mean, I'll just be candid about it. Like up until in a relationship now, I don't watch porn. In my previous relationship, I wasn't watching porn either. But every relationship I've been in previous to that, I was watching porn and like, I don't know. I don't think it's good. Like this idea that you're like looking at other people root each other and like thinking about them doing it and then getting horny over that. Cause it's like, as much as if you go back 3 relationships, I know that girlfriend was watching and enjoying porn. And like I said, I didn't have a problem with it because I was like, it would be hypocritical of me to have a problem with it. Now that I'm better than everyone and I've quit porn, I don't want my misso watching porn.
I mean, I hadn't thought about it on that level.
No,
I've never thought about it.
Excuse me for having a little think about it.
I hear you. Also, this is going to be a fucking banger of an episode for your mum. Lol.
I think.
Oh, gee. I'll tell her to take this one.
I think there might be like a void that you're sort of feeling if you're watching it in a relo, right? There's like some void you're feeling, surely.
I was thinking about how bad I don't want my mum to listen to this, but we're keeping it all in. Sorry, say that again.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I said, if you're in a relo relationship and you're still doing it, surely there's like a bigger void that you're not sort of looking at that you're trying to fill. Because I feel like that cup should sort of be filled in a relationship. Not, you know what I mean? Not the exact cup, but
no, that's the thing.
Similar
like,
drive.
You might want to do some nasty things together, and like I think you would probably be able to avoid that conversation more if you're getting your rocks off elsewhere. But then you don't do that. You're like, hey babe, fucking let's give this a run.
Yeah,
maybe she'd be like, what the fuck, you absolute sicko. But you know, that's just part of being vulnerable in a relationship, isn't it?
At least you gave it a shot.
Are you a sicko? Are you a little bit of a sicko because of how much porn you watch, you naughty little boys?
So is it the chicken and the egg?
Sort of thing? Definitely cranked it to porn for like probably close to two decades. So this is a high horse I am freshly on. I've been riding this high horse for like a little over a year. But like I said, I just trying to share the journey. Like if there'll be some country listens to this who stops jaying their pee into porn and they'll thank me for it.
And also none of us are.
If you are listening to this and you're going to stop listening, if you're listening to this and you stop watching internet porn because of me saying this, buy GPP Level 1 to thank me. Not that we talk about this stuff whatsoever in there, but just as a token of your appreciation, because no doubt the impact on your quality of life will be worth more than 350 Australian dollars, which is the low price for GPP Level 1. I get so much feedback. They're like, everyone who gets in there, they're like, why aren't you charging more for this? Which I love, but the reason we're not charging more for it, or maybe the price will go up at some point, is me and Jacob discussed it. We wanted good education for personal trainers and strength and conditioning coaches to be accessible. And I feel like 350 Australian dollars, especially if you're fucking in Europe or the US or the UK, is like very fucking accessible. Certain other countries, maybe not so much, but still, yeah. So fucking get into GPP Level 1. Yeah, fuck.
Absolutely.
Live calls have just been absolutely pumping. But yeah, I won't hassle you about internet porn on the live calls, I promise.
Yeah.
We'll be
And
talking about plyos. We'll be troubleshooting your clients' programs and shit like that.
Yeah.
And fucking, yeah.
No, for sure. And that too, it probably is just
I feel like I'm
going
going to walk out of this little cubicle at the gym and everyone's just
Everyone's staring at you. No, surely it's not soundproof. I mean, I'm in a library. I don't know if this fucking box is soundproof either. So
No
one's looking at
it's probably not soundproof. You're in a very quiet place, Jacobs. Like, you know,
yeah, I'm yelling too.
Oh, I mean, for a bunch of yellers.
Hell yeah. I was just gonna say, probably a quick disclaimer on the whole porn chat as well, is that like, I don't know, none of us are relationship experts either. And
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say we've had our fair share.
Are you
of
sure I'm not a
problematic ones.
relationship expert? I feel like one now.
Yeah, well, you know, stop watching porn, become a relationship expert. That's how it goes.
I'm
right?
not. I feel like any male who's not whinging about the male loneliness epidemic qualifies as a relationship expert these days.
Hey everyone, Matt Harvey here. I produced this podcast that you're listening to or watching just now, so if you like the way that it looks and sounds, that's partially down to me. If you've got a podcast, video, or other online project that you'd like some production help with, or even if you just want to chat through some ideas, drop me a DM or an email. My details can be found in the show notes below. Thanks so much for your time. On with the show.
Everyone, producer is hassling me to drop another live ad, and I hate to drill these back to back, but also check out the team training. All I'll say is it's been popping off. You can get a week for free. There'll be a link in the show notes. Everyone's having a great time.
Would you want to talk about anything else, or should we wrap?
I've got to cut myself off at this point.
That's cool. That's cool.
We got beers with Sam Goldsmith again. Got the call up. So
Hell yeah. Shout out to Sam Goldsmith. I want you to
Shout out
keep
to Sam.
tabs on the leg width of his pants. He's wearing
Yep.
some
he's actually
very
bought new
performative
ones.
pants.
New ones. Yeah. Female gaze final
Dude,
box.
Sam, I don't know if you're listening to the podcast, but like, I want you to look up the Melbourne Shuffle, and that's the pants that I envision you wearing in about 6 months. I think that's sort of the timeline we're looking at.
3
before
legs
we see
worth.
the Melbourne Shuffle pants make a return. Fucking crazy work there.
Oh, fucking
All right.
yeah.
Train variously. Don't watch internet porn. Sign up for GPP Level 1, and we'll catch you next week.